Excess salt intake is widely recognized as one of the most dangerous dietary habits for people with high blood pressure, yet it remains a silent culprit in countless daily meals. Most people think of salt simply as the shaker on the table, sprinkled over eggs or fries, but in reality, the sodium lurking in processed foods, canned goods, frozen dinners, instant noodles, deli meats, and even healthier, packaged items often exceeds what our bodies can safely handle without any obvious taste warning. What makes sodium particularly insidious is that its effects are cumulative. The damage builds quietly over time, often without immediate symptoms, earning high blood pressure its infamous nickname, the silent killer. The mechanism is straightforward but relentless. Sodium has a natural tendency to attract and hold water. When you consume too much salt, your body retains extra fluid to dilute the sodium in your bloodstream. This increases blood volume, and the heart must pump harder to circulate it through your arteries. Over time, this extra strain can damage blood vessels, contribute to arterial stiffness, and eventually lead to chronic hypertension. Imagine your arteries as delicate garden hoses. Every extra teaspoon of sodium is like increasing the water pressure in those hoses, slowly weakening the walls and making them more prone to leaks and bursts. It's a slow-motion assault on your cardiovascular system. The consequences of long-term high sodium intake go far beyond elevated blood pressure. Research consistently shows that chronically high salt consumption is linked to heart attacks, strokes, kidney disease, and even cognitive decline. Some studies suggest that excessive sodium can increase the risk of left ventricular hypertrophy, a condition in which the heart's main pumping chamber thickens, making the organ less efficient and more prone to failure. Processed meats, canned soups, snack foods, and restaurant meals are particularly dangerous because they not only contain massive amounts of sodium, but are often loaded with unhealthy fats, sugars, and preservatives that compound cardiovascular stress. A single plate of restaurant fries, a can of instant soup, or a prepackaged sandwich can deliver more sodium than the recommended daily limit, often without any dramatic taste to warn you. The danger is compounded by what is often called hidden sodium. Foods that seem harmless, bread, cheese, salad dressings, condiments, and even breakfast cereals, can collectively push your daily intake well above the American Heart Association's recommended limit of 1,500 milligrams per day for people with high blood pressure. For context, a single slice of bread can have 150 to 200 milligrams of sodium, a slice of cheese can add another 150 to 200 milligrams, and just a tablespoon of ketchup or soy sauce can add 150 to 200 milligrams more. By the end of the day, even without ever touching the salt shaker, you could be consuming 2 to 3 times the safe limit. For a hypertensive person, this can lead to frequent spikes in blood pressure, swelling, headaches, fatigue, and over time, serious cardiovascular complications. There's also a psychological angle to consider. Many people rely on taste habituation. They're accustomed to salty foods and may find lower sodium options bland. However, the body's taste buds can adjust surprisingly quickly, and reducing sodium gradually often restores natural sensitivity to flavors. Ignoring this adjustment period, however, is risky. Continuing a high-sodium diet reinforces the body's retention of water, increases blood pressure, and sets the stage for chronic organ damage. Children and adolescents are not immune. Studies show that early exposure to high-sodium diets can predispose individuals to hypertension later in life. Parents may unknowingly provide high-salt snacks, processed lunches, and fast food meals, setting a dangerous pattern that can last decades. For adults, particularly those with pre-existing cardiovascular conditions, diabetes, or kidney disease, the stakes are even higher. Hypertension accelerates organ damage, increases stroke risk, and complicates metabolic processes, making even minor excesses of sodium a potentially serious health hazard. Practically speaking, vigilance is critical. Reading nutrition labels, choosing fresh or minimally processed foods, avoiding restaurant and fast foods, and using herbs and spices instead of salt can make a significant difference. Substituting potassium-rich foods like fruits and vegetables can also help counteract sodium's effects, as potassium helps relax blood vessels and promotes sodium excretion. But the key takeaway is that excess sodium is not just a flavor enhancer, it's a slow, cumulative poison for anyone with high blood pressure. Ignoring the warning signs may lead to long-term damage that is far more expensive and life-altering than the temporary satisfaction of a salty snack. In conclusion, Excess salt is a dietary hazard with both immediate and long-term consequences for blood pressure regulation. It quietly undermines cardiovascular health, strains the heart, stiffens arteries, and elevates the risk of kidney failure, stroke, and cognitive decline. For those with high blood pressure, it is not merely a matter of preference or taste. It is a serious health risk that demands careful attention and proactive dietary choices. By understanding the science behind sodium's effects and committing to a lower salt lifestyle, individuals can reduce these risks dramatically, protect their heart and kidneys, and maintain better overall health.